Anytime you start something new, anytime you set out on a new path, anytime you move out of your comfort zone, you're gonna go through a bell curve of frustration. You're gonna be excited, you're gonna be pumped, you're gonna have the momentum to carry you through the first 2 or 3 or 4 days. Maybe it's a week, maybe it's 3 weeks. But what happens when that energy fades? What happens when you start to get frustrated? What happens when you start to feel like a grind and things get grueling and they get gritty and they get tough and it gets harder to move through the process every single day? What happens then? Most people quit.
Do not accept that. Do not allow the process to break you. You embed that long-term goal into your brain, and every single day of your life, from here on out, you do something about it. However small or insignificant each step may seem, you take it. You make it happen.
The way in which you make massive progress is learning the art of becoming single-minded, learning how to concentrate, learning how to focus in. And you'll be surprised at the things that you're able to do when you learn how to block things out, when you learn how to keep thine eyes single.
Clarity is power. If you know exactly what it is you really want, what you desire, what you're really after, the more clear you are on specifically what you want, the faster your brain can get you there. Your brain's like a servo-mechanism and a missile. It locks on the heat signature, what does it do? It moves and follows it. That's the way your brain is if it knows the outcome, if it knows the result. I need to know the result and the after before I ever ask myself what to do. Get focused on the target. The target is not the activity. The activity can change. It's what's the result I'm after. If you just keep looking at those outcomes every day, how am I doing on that outcome? Your brain will come up with ways to get to that outcome. I promise you. Focus on outcomes, not on activities.
You'll be surprised at the ideas that will come to you, of the opportunities that you'll be able to see. You'll begin to see things that have been staring there, looking you in the face, saying, I can't believe this has been here all this time.
If you're creative enough, can you find the answer, yes or no? If you're determined enough, can you find the breakthrough, yes or no? If you're passionate, loving enough, can you get someone to help you, yes or no? If there's no way that you're committed, can you find the money, even if you don't have it, yes or no? Creativity, decisiveness, passion, these are the ultimate human resources. And when you engage these resources, you can get any other resource on earth. And if you don't have what you want, stop telling yourself the story because you don't have the money, you don't have the time. It's because you haven't committed yourself where you would burn your boats. If you want to take an island, burning boats, and you will take the island because people, when they're going to either die or succeed, tend to succeed.
And you've got to be so relentless, regardless of what comes down the pike, that you're always looking for a way to get over, always looking for a way that you can break through, always looking for a way that you can win, always looking for a way that you can strike a telling blow.
Wherever focus goes, energy flows.
If you focus on the obstacles, all you will see is obstacles. I can't get apart. I can't do this versus I'm going to keep doing this. It's such a huge thing to convert things into the affirmative.
See, a lot of us, because of our limited vision of ourselves, a lot of us who begin to focus on problems and enable them to overwhelm us, we begin to think that we have no options. We begin to believe that there's no way out. There's always a way. Where there's a will, there's a way.
But many of you all over the place, and that's why you'll never be what you want to be. That's why you'll never have what you want to have. And I'm asking that the 24 hours in your life be very intentional, very deliberate, that you be very strategic. You're very deliberate about what time you wake up. You're very deliberate about what time you go to bed. You're very deliberate about what you eat. You're very deliberate about the people you bring in your life. You are very deliberate about the books that you read. You're very deliberate about what you watch on television. You are very, very focused, intentional, and deliberate. You go in the future and you see your future, baby. You look at it. You see where you want to be in 20 years, in 30 years, in 40 years. And then you come back to the present, to this particular day, to this particular spot. Get in the spot and you master today, and you don't worry about tomorrow, and you ain't tripping on your past. Why? Because your past don't count no more, and your future is so far ahead that you don't even need to be worried about that. You master the present. You master Monday, and then you take on Tuesday. And once you lick Tuesday, then you say Wednesday, come on. And then you take Thursday, and then you master Friday. And then you tell the weekend, bring it on. And when you get to the point where you start winning the day, then you start winning a week. And then you start winning a month. And then you start winning a year. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Go fast, go hard, and win the day. And if you can do that, you will have, you will be, and you'll do whatever you want to do.
The last chapter of your story has not been written yet. The fact that you're here today is a testament to the fact that whatever you're up against hasn't been able to destroy you.
Don't give in. Don't be like everybody else. Don't give up. Don't settle because things are hard.
Now, will it be turbulent? Yes. Will it be easy? No. Will I make a lot of mistakes? Yes. Will I get hurt? Yes. Pain is everywhere. Most people spend their life not wanting to deal with the pain of rejection, the pain of defeat, the pain of losing, the pain of failure, the pain. That's called life. Life is full of pain, but there's no gain without pain.
We are being pressed from every side by troubles, but we're not crushed. We're not boxed in. We're not left without a way out. We are not cornered. So the problems are coming in from every angle, but there is always a way of escape.
You want me to tell you to give up? Huh? You want me to tell you to quit? It's all right to give up. It's all right to surrender. That's what you want me to say? I can't tell you that. But what I can tell you is this, that I did it, and I got here from my mind, and I envisioned it. I saw myself when I was still homeless, when I was still a high school dropout, when I was sleeping in a bed at Bilyeu. I saw myself one day being where I am right now. I don't care where you are. Use what you got to get what you want. Use your mind. Use your vision. Use your dream. I dreamed my way out the hood. I dreamed my way out, and then I saw it, and then I would get up every day, and I would grind hard. You gotta have a why. You gotta have a reason for why you do what you do. If you don't know what your why is, and your why isn't strong, you're gonna get knocked out every single day. But when you know what your why is, you can make it.
You've got to activate the thinker in you. Don't allow your emotions to control you. We are emotional, but you want to begin to discipline your emotion. If you don't discipline and contain your emotions, they will use you.
What if you lose? What if you fail? What if things don't work out? So what? It's not about the goals that you reach, it's about what you become in the process. That's what it's about.
50% of winning is showing up for the fight. The fight is half over when you show up. You will never win a fight you don't show up for.
I'm showing up for the fight. Here I am, ready for duty. I'm gonna face this head on and let the chips fall where they may.
Every one of my successes is stacked on top of failures. The joy is not in the success, the joy is in trying. The joy is in the process. That I'm gonna keep working, I'm gonna keep going at it. See, failure is forming my future. Failure is just another peg in the ladder for me to go higher.
It's been rough, it's been hard, but I made up in my mind that I will get a reward for the pain that I go through. You will not stop me.
It's hard, I know it's hard, but do it hard.
The greatest test is in transition. If you are being tested, you are in transition.
And you gotta get it in your brain that where you are right now is not the end. It's just a transition. Stop letting stuff derail you. Stop getting stuck. Every time life don't go your way, stop quitting. Stop giving up. Keep fighting in the midst of the struggle. Keep fighting. Keep thinking positive. You only lose when you quit. You gotta put up the dukes, baby. And you gotta be willing to fight that thing out. If you would be willing to fight your way through this battle, fight your way through cancer, fight your way through that academic struggle, fight your way through divorce, fight your way through that singing career, fight your way through boxing, fight your way through football. I'm telling you, at the end of the fight is going to come victory. Recycle your pain. You can decide the shape, the form. You can decide the product that comes from your pain.
And maybe you've been knocked down in your life and it seems like, hey, the fight is over. It is not over if you've been knocked down. It's only over if you quit. We may be knocked down, but we're never knocked out. We get up again and we keep going. If you make the decision to get up one more time, I'm telling you, you will win the fight.
There is no testimony without a trial. It is supposed to be hard. That rough process is necessary. It's what makes you who you are.
You've got to be flexible. You've got to be versatile and you've got to be adaptable. You've got to deal with circumstances such as you find them. Why? Because a lot of stuff is going to be thrown at you. Many times you're not going to have time to prepare. Sometimes people come out of nowhere with stuff, and you've got to stand up inside of yourself and handle it. You got to trust that you're going to be all right. You have no evidence to support it. It doesn't make sense. You can't point anything to say, well, this is why. There's no logic in it. There's no way in which you can logically and practically and realistically support it and prove it. That's why you got to have faith and you got to have trust. Somehow, some way, you got to have that you're going to come through. What is it that will make it worth it for you to face the rejections when you want to give up and things are working against you? What is it that will make it worth it for you to brainstorm and not be intimidated and say, I can do this? What is it that will make it worth it for you to raise the bar on yourself and say, I got some more stuff in me? What is it that will help you get back up again?
You better go inside. You still looking outside for the stuff that's already inside. You still looking for someone to save you when you already your superhero. You looking for some information from somebody when you already got what you need in your head. It's just time for you to get up and be the best version of you. When you get your butt knocked out, the only way you can get back up is from the inside out. I got what it takes. I got average skill, but I got phenomenal will. I can. I have the ability to do it. I will. I have the willpower to make it happen. I must. Somebody count on me. Arise. Get your butt up. You don't belong at the bottom, and it's time for you to get your butt from down there. It's time for you to stop being comfortable at the bottom. Get your butt up and get to where you're supposed to be. This ain't time to be whining. This ain't time to be crying. This is time to get focused. Once you start questioning yourself, you already lost. Once you start questioning yourself, once you start going into a state of depression and you start being by yourself and you start thinking and wondering, once you start wondering, you already lost. Even if you don't believe.
You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in your product. You have to believe in your service. And you have to sell you every day. The biggest sale that I make every day that Les Brown, you can do this. I can beat this. If other people can do it, then it's possible that I can do it. You're going to break records. You're going to do some things when you challenge yourself, when you work on yourself, because you don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. If you want to improve your income, you want to improve your circumstances, you want to improve your life, you got to first improve yourself.
Spend more time on yourself than what you've been spending. Working on yourself, talking to yourself, overcoming the negative conversation, that inner dialogue that's going on all the time. It's very important. You owe that to yourself. And so learning how to empower yourself, you've got to learn to make a conscious, deliberate, determined effort to stand up inside yourself. Working on yourself, watching that inner dialogue, it will determine the quality of your life. Because you are creating your own production. You are the star of your show. You are the director. You're writing the script. And you will determine whether your life is a smash office hit or flop. You begin to realize that your dream and your gifts have so much meaning and so much value for you till your hunger for them will begin to push you past the fear. Your hunger to have them will give you a special drive. You want to become a risk taker. You want to raise the bar on yourself. Most people won't do that.
Most people are gonna think you're weird. They're gonna think you're crazy.
People are going to think you're crazy.
Get away from people in your life that's hating. Get away from your family members that ain't ever opened a business. Get away from your family members that ain't ever followed their dream. Get away from them.
Don't expect people to understand you. Don't expect it to make sense to anybody why you've got to do this. There's some people that won't like you. Who do you think you are? You are arrogant. What do you think you can do? You think you can get away with that?
I'm fighting with folks who not even fighting, but they got something to say about how we fight. You're not even fighting. You ain't doing nothing. And for those of us who get up and go out, you got something to say about how we do what we do it. Stop talking to us who perform. Stop critiquing us. Stop telling us what to do and how to do it.
Build the kind mind of life that says I told you so without having to say a word. Every negative comment should trigger you into productive action. Every time somebody says something to you, you should go do whatever it is that is going to make them have to eat their words. Right then, right now.
I've had my haters. I've had people who've come against me, who try to sabotage me.
I'm like the lion. I'm not the gazelle. I don't need something external to motivate me. I find something within.
That's what lions do. Lions don't cry. Lions don't give up. Lions don't quit. Lions hunt. That's what we do for a living.
I must be the greatest, not because I'm cocky, but I gotta tell myself I'm the best if I'm gonna be the best. I gotta believe in me before anybody else believe in me.
Once you're defeated in your mind, ladies and gentlemen, it's all over.
Your problem is your pain has identified you. Your pain has weakened you. And right now, you have a choice on how you respond to your pain. And some of you here today, seriously, I'm just going to be honest with you. You're getting soft. You're getting weak.
You are not the only person that's been through a divorce. You're not the first one. You won't be the last one. You can turn that divorce into something. You're not the first one to lose your promotion and get fired. You're not the first one they let go of. You won't be the last one.
The question you gotta ask yourself is, what am I gonna do about it? How can I make this situation better?
Because you wanna know what it takes to get to paradise? It takes you fighting like fucking hell. That's the only way. Every single person you see that has something you want got there through pain, struggle, adversity, blood, sweat, and tears. Nothing worthwhile comes easy in this life. It's not gonna be easy, but if you're willing to fortify your mind, your spirit, and push yourself harder than you may ever have in order to get to a point where you can be in your own version of paradise, it will be worth every bit of that effort.
When life staggers you, the thing that will help you find something from somewhere deep down within to get you up on your knees and get you standing in the center of the ring once again, to keep on slugging and keep on fighting, is saying to yourself, it's possible. I will not quit.
You don't know what you got until all hell breaks loose. You don't know what you can take until the pressure is applied to your life. When you start running from one thing, you will keep running from everything. When are you gonna stop running?
When you're facing defeat and disappointment and seems like life has written you off and everybody says you can't do it and they're saying you don't have what it takes, all you need to affirm to yourself is that in spite of this, it's possible that I can do it.
So what makes a winner different than everybody else? Every year they just keep going and they keep going and they keep going and they keep saying to themselves, one day is gonna be my day. And you know what I'm not gonna do? I'm not gonna quit in the process. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna give in.
You start running from a class, you start running from a subject that you don't like, it will haunt you for the rest of your natural life. It ain't going nowhere. That thing speaks about who you are as a person, how you approach life. This ain't no gig. This is the essence of who I am. This is my spirit. This is my character. This ain't no job. Why you treat it like a job? It's your calling. Lay hold of it. Grab it. Make it personal. It's gonna be a fight. At some point, you gotta go take the life out of it. So some of y'all are afraid of math. Go after it. Go get it. Don't run from it no more. Go get it. You go in there and go get that grade. You go in there and get that information so you can pass that class. You gotta go get it.
It's not hardships that hurt us. What will break most people is you didn't prepare for that. So when you put all your little goals and all your little dreams together, it's not the thing that broke you. It was you never even thought about the fact that you could be broken. You never prepared for worst case scenario. And the reason why ET is standing here, because I'm prepared for it. It's a dog fight. It's been rough. It's been crooked. It's been hard. But I've made up in my mind that I will get a reward for the pain that I go through. I will not stop in the middle of the process. I will not be defeated. I will not be destroyed. I will take everything that happens in my life and I will allow the pain to push me to greatness. You will not break me. You will not stop me. You will not defeat me. The only way I lose is if I quit. It's going to be a dog fight.
You cannot let your fear hold you back from your destiny. You have to feel the fear and do it anyway. Do it broke, do it scared, do it nervous, do it on your knees, do it with help, do it on crutches, do it in a wheelchair. You need to use your tongue to validate your gift and look yourself in the mirror and encourage yourself and say, I'm still gifted. I've been through some pain, but I'm still gifted. I've buried some loved ones, but I'm still gifted. I've had some setbacks, but I am still gifted.
You're gonna have to think and find creative ways to make the next move happen. Your next move is in between your ears. When your head shifts, your life is going to shift.
And when that thing tells you to quit, you look at it in his eye and say, I ain't going nowhere. I will break you before you break me. You will not defeat me. You will not destroy me. Some of you are so ignorant. You've been through so much. You gonna quit now?
Yes, it's hard. Yes, it's painful. Yes, I'm gonna have setbacks, but I'm still gonna be successful. Why? Because I owe it to myself. I'm going to grind. I'm going to fight. I'm going to work. I'm going to press toward. I'm going to learn. I'm going to do everything in my power every single day to become a victor and not a victim. And can't nobody stop me but me.
You will never succeed more than you fail. That's not how it works. You know why? Because failure is a wonderful teacher. It's the only way to learn. You have to fail. Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player in the world, he took 946 game-winning shots. He has only made 146 of those. He has missed over 700 times, but he has made 146. You know what they write about? When you make it. They write about when you make it. So guess what? When you get through failing, all you gotta do is make one. Matter of fact, when you fail, be glad about it. Every time you fail, you're one step closer. So every time you fail, say, whew, got that out the way. Go to the next one. Fail again, okay, I got two out the way. What's gonna happen is if you just keep swinging, you're gonna get a hit.
Do not fear failure, but please be terrified of regret, as giving up is the birth of regret. You will receive 100 doors slam in your face. You will have 100 moments that will be filled with someone telling you no. But what I ask of you today is to not take no for an answer. Don't be afraid of no's. Be afraid of the possibility of a yes that you have prematurely destroyed because you decided to quit before the clock strikes 12.
You better go inside. You still looking outside for the stuff that's already inside. You still looking for someone to save you when you're already your superhero. You looking for some information from somebody when you already got what you need in your head. It's just time for you to get up and be the best version of you. I challenge you to challenge yourself. I challenge you to stop thinking way worse enough. I challenge you to go beyond hurt. I challenge you to be capable of being uncomfortable. I challenge you. I don't need you thinking about it no more. You're doing too much thinking. You're analyzing too much. You're talking yourself out of it. I don't know if this gonna work. I tried and it didn't work. I just need you to keep moving. I need you to make up in your mind that the only way you can lose is if you quit. I just need you to keep going. Get emotional if you must. Cry if you must. Get it out. But get your butt back up after you finish crying and put a time limit on the crying. You say, Coach, I need 30 minutes. Go take it. But when you come back after that 31 minutes, you better grind. Because if you don't, you will be stuck at that adversity for the rest of your life. And some of you are not successful because every single time you run up against a tribulation, you stop and you cut off beast mode. And what I'm here to tell you is, if you tell that thing, I'm here just like you here, and I promise you, I ain't leaving without the degree. I will not leave without that goal. I will not leave without that dream. I will not leave this university until I'm successful. I will not leave this job. I will not leave this client. I will not leave this opportunity until I get it. What will you do with your pain? Will you let it break you, or will you let it redefine you?
When you have a dream, that dream will always be tested. Life is gonna see how bad you really want it. It's gonna throw so many problems in your path. You're gonna lose friends. You're gonna lose loved ones. You're gonna face disappointment constantly. You're gonna feel lost and won't know what to do or where to go.
This is where you discover what you are really made of? Are you going to crumble under the weight, or are you going to rise, stronger and more determined than ever? It's in these moments of uncertainty and pain that your true character is forged.
If you really want it, like you say you want it, you will find a way. You'll stop at nothing to reach it, because that's what winners do. They don't sit around and feel sorry for themselves. They get their up and move forward. They don't allow the pain to stop them. They use it as fuel to go harder. Winners understand that the path to getting to their dreams is not supposed to be easy. Every challenge, every setback is an opportunity to learn, grow, and become even more unstoppable.
And that's exactly why those roadblocks and issues are there in the first place. They're there to push whatever that dream is that's on the inside of you out.
So you don't stop when you're tired, you stop when you're done, when you've executed.
Those days, you don't want to get up and get to work? You gotta think about the people you're doing this for. When that alarm goes off and the last thing you want to do is get up, you remind yourself, I'm doing this for my wife, I'm doing this for my husband, I'm doing this for my kids, for my family, and for myself, for my own well-being, for making myself a better person, to become more, to do more, to have more.
And when you can think about those things, you can go one more mile, you can go one more hour, you can go one more day at work, you can push yourself to do more than you thought you could.
Because your skill will only take you so far. Your average instincts will only get you to a certain point. But when you have mental toughness, when you become gritty, when you build your willpower, when you develop that ability to go through really hard, when you really don't want to do it, when everything sucks, when it's miserable, but you can force your mind and body to get the job done. That's when you will reach greatness and make it happen.
In life, we all hit points where we've got to choose between giving up or going all in. It's at these moments we got to remember, we're not defined by how many times we've been knocked down, but by how many times we stand the...
This whole thing is about realizing you got this wild potential inside you, and all the tough stuff you gotta do is just the key to letting it loose. Picture yourself staring at a huge mountain. It represents every single doubt, fear, and challenge you've ever faced. But inside you, there's this fire, this unstoppable force saying, I got this. This will not stop me.
Think about it. Every monumental thing that's ever been done was once thought impossible. The world's full of stories of people who said and went for their dreams, who stared down the storm and came out on top. You're no different. You got endless potential and strength like no one's business.
And when you dream your dream, I want you to know there are thousands of other people who want exactly the same dream. You're not the only one who wants to be number one. You're not the only one who wants to go to the NBA. So what do you have to do? You gotta outwork, outgrind, and outperform every last one of them. You gotta eat it. You gotta breathe it. You gotta sleep it. Every single thing you do in your life has to pour into that dream.
You dedicate yourself to that thing you want, and you block out everything else. You don't allow yourself to get pulled off course. If it doesn't support the direction you want to head, you tell it no. You have to make these sacrifices. You have to give up stuff in order to go up. Every single person you look up to, they had the strength to go through all the crap and mud in life to get to the highest peaks. Because they were willing to push through all the judgment of others and the pain of failing over and over and the tears when everything was going wrong. And because they fought through all of that, they get to enjoy all of the money, all of the support, all of the love, all of the success that I know you want to reach. And if you want to get to that level, you got to become relentless and not allow any of the painful things turn you around.
It's in these trenches that legends are made, where you mold yourself into the titan you're meant to be. You don't just survive the storm. You learn to dance in the rain, to take those hits and keep moving forward, to get rejected over and over and keep moving forward, driven by the raw, unyielding desire to see your dream realized, doing whatever it takes, paying whatever price. You keep grinding and keep fighting, because you know, on the other side of this hell is the life you've been fighting for.
If I can take it, I can make it. If you can take it, you can make it.
If you can just keep believing when nothing in you is working, when all your external forces have given way, if you can just manage to somehow keep hoping, you have a chance. You just can't become hopeless. If you can just keep hope alive, you can make it. Because if you keep hoping, it is really faith. You just gotta transpose it into I hope this happened to I believe this can happen.
Life is like a grindstone. It can polish you or it can pulverize you, depending on how you position yourself.
There's one side of pain that's the suffering and the discomfort side of pain. But then there's another side of pain that's called effort. It's called glory. It's called if you can find a way to push through pain, there's something greater on the other side of it.
Every time you find yourself saying that you can't do something, putting yourself down, being negative about you and the possibilities for you, you've got to literally catch yourself. And you've got to affirm to yourself, hey, no, I can make it. There's some way this can happen for me. You've got to remind yourself that you've got powers within you, talents within you that you haven't even reached for yet. That once you give yourself an opportunity to try and to experiment with your life, to stretch, you'll find out you can do more than you can ever begin to imagine. You've got to say yes to my dreams, yes to me, yes I can. Doesn't matter how many failures I've made, doesn't matter how many mistakes I've endured, doesn't matter about what I've done, I can make it.
I don't know one that is successful that doesn't take inventory of every comment that anybody has ever made to them. Every time somebody doubts them, they get pissed. And when they get pissed, they go out and do productive things. They don't dwell. They don't sit at home crying their beer. They go to the gym. They get their business plan together. They do whatever it takes to smash people in the mouth with their progress. Build the kind of life that says, I told you so, without having to say a word. It's about taking what people say you can't do and shoving it down their throat. 100 to nothing. That's how I operate. And that's how you should be thinking about it too.
Effort is isolated. Nobody can dictate it. Effort is 100% in the mind.
Don't give in. Don't be like everybody else. Don't give up. Don't settle because things are hard. Don't let people talk you into their life. Become stronger. Become better. Become faster. Become smarter. Become more productive.
When life staggers you, the thing that'll get you up on your knees and keep on fighting is, it's possible. If I just stand long enough, I can pull this off. I can do it. I'm putting it out here. I'm not going to rest until I have it. It's necessary. I'm going to do it. Because whatever you have to do, it's worth it because it's your life's purpose. And once you know that, it is done. What do when you've lost your spirit, you've lost your job, you lost everything. Life been devastated. And you losing every day. Life whipping your butt every day. Life is like a grindstone. It can polish you or it can pulverize you, depending on how you position yourself.
Out of 365 days, there are going to be days you don't feel like getting up. There are going to be days you don't want to work out. There's going to be days that you don't want to practice. There might be days you don't even feel like getting in the game.
This is where most of you break. At test day, when you just lost your best customer, when you're fighting with your wife or your husband or your boyfriend or your girlfriend, when you just got betrayed by a good friend, when you feel like the sun don't come up and you just want to shelter down, that day, you give twice as much. If I go to bed at 4 a.m. because I stayed up all night, let's say my kids are sick, and I say I'm going to go to the gym at 5, I go to the gym at 5. You know why? I'm not going to break on a test day.
Don't fail the test. Don't give in. Don't quit. You grab your enemy by the throat and you keep fighting. And you keep fighting and you keep fighting and you keep fighting no matter what.
Test days are not something to be dreaded. Test days are only to be dreaded by people who can't pass the test. And all of you have the ability to pass the test.
It is on those days that determine how your life builds. You wake up today, got a headache? Suck it up. You wake up this morning, don't feel like going to the gym? Most people don't. Go anyways. You wake up this morning, don't feel like talking to somebody? You need to talk to somebody as fast as possible. Test days are what make you a savage.
You gotta discipline yourself, and you gotta learn that when you don't feel like it, you must still do it or actually go harder when you don't feel like it.
Those that can kill test days and stay about it all day long are those that annihilate the rest. I want you to make a commitment today that from this point forward, you're gonna become the most savage that ever lived. You're gonna be smarter, you're not gonna stop, and you're gonna give it all you got.
We live as prisoners in our minds. We're in a mental recession. It's time for us to realize a lot of people are getting weaker right now. It's time for us to get strong. When everything falls apart in your life and your plan is up, what you're gonna do is only one option. Stay hard.
You can't never feel bad when you put forth 120%. You can't let the outcomes make you feel whack. I'm not whack, I'm a warrior. You know how much I went through to make that thing happen? You know how many trials and tribulations, you know how many obstacles I had to get through to make that work? I got through all of them. Oh, I feel depressed. I'm going through it. Stay focused. Stay focused on the goal.
You are so focused on what you can't control that you're not putting your energy, your spirit, your ethos, your trust on what you can control. What you can control is putting your gym shoes on and going for a run. What you can control is what time you go to bed. What you can control is what time you wake up. What you can control is what you watch on TV. What you can control is how you use your schedule. What you can control, you can control. This ain't time to be whining. This ain't time to be crying. This is time to get focused.
You think the lion look the way it does because of what it eats? You think that physique is that because of what it eats? It's not. It's the hunt that make it look like that. It's the hunt. Because every time it get up and it go out, it's got to run. Every time it go out, it's got to jump on my man and boom, bring my man to the ground. But I promise you, whatever they catch, it ain't just letting them eat it. It's a fight going on. And every time it fight, it gets stronger. Every time it fight, it get more ferocious. Every time it fight, it becomes more of what it is.
Your mind has to be stronger than your feelings. On those bad days, when you think that you're alone, you just might be. Because you know why? No one else wants to do it. So you be that always gets it done.
Every step you take, you get that much stronger.
The greatest of all time, if you were to peel back who they are on the outside and look deep within their soul, you're going to find a savage warrior. Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, these dudes weren't on the court at 4 a.m. in the morning doing chest passes and free throws because they wanted to win over the hearts and minds of the fans. No, they wanted to go out and slit throats every single day of their lives in their careers. And when people tell you you can't, people tell you you won't, people tell you your dreams are too big, you're never going to accomplish them, when are you going to grow up and get realistic? When your girlfriends leave you, your boyfriends abandon you, when all that happens, we got to know what to do with this energy, otherwise it's up. It paralyzes us. It makes us ineffective. So we take all the negative, we take all the frustration, we take all the things, and we don't lash back out. We take it and we put it up on our shoulder as a big giant ship. And every single time that we feel like not doing what we should do, every single time we feel like quitting, every single time we feel like throwing in the towel, we go up here and we list down the things that people have said to us. We list down the things that people have done to us, and we find the energy to go take productive action.
Some people, you just, y'all start losing and you just stop playing. You just like, I give up, I quit, we already lost.
And so you let it go. And you settle for the status quo. You settle for the easy road. You settle for, oh well.
But here's the thing. There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living.
Greatness is a lot of small things done well. Day after day, workout after workout, obedience after obedience, day after day.
You think you're just gonna change the game, you're just gonna change the rules. It don't work like that. There's a standard to greatness and there's levels to this.
To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did.
And some of you right now, you are where you are, you're giving 60% when you have 120 in you. There are those of you with a big dream but a little grind. I need you to pick your grind up. I need you to pick your grind up. There's nothing wrong with your dream. You have a great dream. but your grind does not affect your dream. And I need you to wake up every single day, and I need you to use your 24 hours like you've never used it before. You gotta get tired of losing. You don't belong at the bottom, and it's time for you to get your butt from down there. It's time for you to stop being comfortable at the bottom. Get your butt up. Get where you belong. Do what you're supposed to do. Live like you're supposed to live. I made a decision. Enough is enough. It's showtime. And your grind has to match your dream. You can't play as much as you used to play. You can't go where you used to go. You can't do what you used to do. And now you gotta push your grind up to match your dream. You still fighting people. You still cussing folk out. You still laying hands on people. That's the easy fight. Now fight your bad habits. Fight your addictions now. Fight your laziness. Fight your procrastination. Take that energy now and fight to get a degree. Fight to start a company. Fight. Use that energy for something positive. And so while you talking about your haters, it ain't your haters that's stopping you. It's you that's stopping you. You gotta go get it. It might take you more than 6 months. It might take you more than a year. It might take you more than 2 years. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care the sacrifice. You put in too many hours. You made too many phone calls. You put in too much money. You've invested too much time to quit now. You've given too much. You should have quit last year. You should have quit 2 years ago. You've come too far to give up. The only thing you can do right now is go all in. You gotta create the type of scenario that if it doesn't work, you lose everything. And because you cannot lose everything, you gotta make it happen.
Put yourself in a position where you can't retreat, where it's do or die, sink or swim. Here's what you'll find out. You'll develop incredible swimming skill. You'll find yourself stroking unlike you've ever seen before. Through the inspiration of desperation, you'll become more creative than ever before.
If you want to take the island, burn in boats, and you will take the island because people, when they're going to either die or succeed, tend to succeed.
You can't have that life until you're willing to put in that work. I need you to hustle until you no longer have to introduce yourself. I need you to work this business so hard that you don't have to convince anybody. I need you to work this business so hard that they begging you to get in. They begging to get on your team. They're begging to go on the road. I need you to hustle so hard. I need you to go in so hard that people start calling you and you don't have to call them.
You owe it to yourself to give it your best effort. If you get in the habit of being mediocre or doing just enough to get by, you're not hurting anybody but you. You're cheating you.
But you're giving 50% and you said it's not working. You're giving 60% and you said it's not working.
Weak people, people who lose, they have bad shit happen to them and they say, well, I tried, I did my best, it was this guy's fault, it was my boss's fault, and they make all these excuses. And winners do not do that at all. They get punched in the face, they sit down for a second and they say, and they get back up and they keep going. I choose to perceive the difficult days as a test that has showed up to reinforce the belief that I have in myself, to reinforce what I know about myself. And if we all approach the difficult times like that and we continue to push through, our confidence will go up tremendously.
Is it easy? No. Is it worth it? Yes. Yes, your life is worth it.
It's time for you to unleash the beast. It's time for you to go inside and unleash that fire, unleash that purpose, unleash your passion. You gotta make a commitment that you'll never ever give 60%. You'll never ever give 70%. From this day forward, you give it 120%.
120%. That's my standard of excellence, my standard of greatness. 120 is being better and bigger and bolder, going further and faster, setting goals and shattering goals. 120 is giving my all. 120 to the day I die.
Sometimes life will take you to your knees. Sometimes you have to cry. Sometimes will hurt deep inside. In time of adversity, you don't have an obstacle to deal with. You have a choice to make.
You can suffer or you can choose to do whatever you need to do to liberate yourself, whatever you need to do to reinvent yourself, whatever you need to do to overcome whatever you are stuck in right now. It does not have to be your residency.
You keep standing.
No matter how rough the sea, you keep standing. No matter what, you don't give up. You keep standing. No matter what.
You got to be bold in life, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not bold, if you're not standing up inside yourself, if you're not willing to call into being the highest and the strongest that's within you when you're facing life's challenges, life will trample you. But see, when you discover the truth of this goodness, this power that you have within you, that truth will set you free from ever being a victim in life. That truth will enable you to handle things with a level of equanimity that will surprise you. Getting unstuck means that you are going to start living life on your terms, rather than just gliding through every day on automatic. That you have a special power within, that you know that things are going to get better for you. You know that you can handle this. And because you want some different kind of results in your life, you've got to decide that I'm going to go all out.
We decide which moments define us. Will it be the moment we get knocked down? Or will it be the moment when we get back up? This is when we show the world what we're made of. Listen to me, you can't give up. If it was easy, everybody would do it. But if life's got you down, I need you to get up and prove them wrong.
People who operate in darkness, they are relentless. They never stop. And we have to make it our full-time job to fight back. You got to put your foot down. You got to get an attitude. You got to get fired up.
You gotta get up, look at the man in the mirror and go, this is what I'm doing today, whether they like it or not. Everybody's focusing on the stupidity things that they got on the news. Don't watch the news no more. I give you the real news. You know what the news is about today? You, and how you're gonna conquer the world.
And don't be disturbed because no one else can see it. That's not unusual.
You've got to learn how to tune out the critics outside and the critic inside.
You need to change on how you look at the people, what they say to you. You gotta start arming your mind. Start preparing yourself for what's out here in life. Build confidence, build self-esteem. So people talk to you, it doesn't matter. There's great power in adversity. If you're a victim of any kind, make sure you use that to become successful. It's about going that extra step when you feel you can. That's what builds self-respect, self-esteem, self-discipline, all those things. Learn to not let life hijack your brain. Don't allow all these things to make you a lesser person. You must own your mind. Don't let life own yours.
Everybody has a defining moment. Whatever your defining moment is, own it. And say to yourself, after today, I will do whatever it takes to become everything I can become.
So I'll hear people say, if you believe it, then you can achieve it. And the problem with that is they're leaving out the most important part of the equation. And that part is work, action, actually doing something. That's what you have to do to achieve anything. Yeah, you gotta believe it, but you better get the work done.
And most people will not be successful. They will not reach whatever they wrote because when there's not anything emotionally attached to it, they're gonna quit and give up. Most people were closer than they ever thought they were to finishing that big thing, but they never finished it because they didn't feel like finishing it. Or they were doing it and it was pain. And most people quit in the pain because the pain hurts so bad that they don't know if they want to keep going and get to go. Because you're gonna wake up most days and not feel like it. You're gonna wake up most days and not be pumped up. You're gonna wake up most days and not feel like doing it. But when you can get to a point that you do it anyway, then there's no way you won't reach any of your goals.
There's things that you know you're supposed to do as a human being. Things that you know are gonna improve your life. Do those things. There's things that you know are gonna make you a worse person and make your life worse. Don't do those things. Get up early, do some kind of workout, eat good foods, clean your room. Make a list of things that you're supposed to do in your life, and then wake up in the morning and do those things. And no, it is not easy, but you're not gonna get it from anyone else but you.
You think things are gonna just go your way? Well, they're not gonna just go your way. You gotta make them go your way. You think things are gonna just happen for you? Well, they're not just gonna happen for you. You gotta make them happen.
If you wrote that this is the class that you were signed up for, then be at every single class. Make up in your mind, I will not miss one class. Every engagement I do, I don't care what event it is. When I show up, I'm bringing you the best version of Eric Thomas. No excuses.
Because I'm pissed off for greatness. Because if you ain't pissed off for greatness, that means you're okay with being mediocre.
Nobody owes you. If you want something, go out there and get it. Go out and take it. That's all there is to it.
The standard is the standard. We don't lower it. We compete, we fight, we scrap, we live to fight another day. We don't retreat against nobody. That ain't talent.
That's essence. That's core. That's who I am as a person. That's how I get down. That's how I'm coming. That's what that is. And every time you get ready to stop, every time you get ready to quit, that's you as a man. But when you press forward, in the midst of the opposition, in the midst of the adversity, you're building a mentality that's going to sustain you 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now.
As we begin to focus on developing ourselves, as we begin to elevate ourselves and not to follow the crowd, activating the thinker in us and disciplining and putting on hold the emotional part of ourselves, it's not easy, but through practice and practice and practice, practice makes improvement. You can always better your best. You can always go beyond anything that you have ever done. And so all you're looking for are new breakthroughs through practice and practice. You'll get better and better. Because you want some different kind of results in your life, you've got to be willing to be unreasonable. If you want unreasonable results in your life, you've got to be willing to be unreasonable. Part of being unreasonable, you don't judge according to appearances. Part of being unreasonable, you concede because you believe it. That's part of being unreasonable. Part of being unreasonable, you must have the faith to call forth those things that be not as though they were. That's part of being unreasonable.
You gotta get up earlier. You gotta stay up later. You gotta execute, and you gotta go from 70.
You can't quit now. I don't care if you don't have the money, and you don't have the help, and you don't have the family for it, and you don't have the friends for it. You cannot quit. You might have to make adjustments. You might have to find another way. You might have to learn new things. You might not move as quick. You might not have as much, but you cannot quit.
If I was gonna quit, I would have quit a long time ago. I've come too far for that now. I will not be defeated. And I've made up in my mind that I will get a reward for the pain that I go through, no matter the price.
You could get through this, because you bigger than this, you better than this, you tougher than this. And when you get to the other side, you're gonna be better, you're gonna be bigger, you're gonna be bolder.
A person's character is not judged when they ride the wave of success, when everyone chants their name and you want to be their friend. No, your character is put to the test when your back is against the wall.
Somebody told you it was over. Somebody sent you home. Somebody told you you'll never be a doctor. They sent you home, you failed. Never give up. You don't give up on me. You don't quit on me. You man up. You woman up. You get your life back. When you come up against that thing, I'll do that thing. And you can't do it when you get there. You gotta already make up your mind before you get to cancer. You gotta already make up your mind before you get to that exam and pass that exam. You gotta make up in your mind when you're talking to your husband, when you're talking to your wife, when you're talking to that sickness. You gotta look at it before you even get to it, so don't you ever give up.
Failure has made me who I am today. Failure gives you two choices. You stay down or you get up. Well, I'm up and I am fired up because I have figured it out.
You're gonna make it. In fact, you're gonna be better.
When life knocks your butt down, I need you to get back up and I need you to go heavy. When uncertainty creeps in, I need you to get up and get right back on the thing that knocked you off, and I need you to go heavy on it. When something doesn't turn out the way you wanted to turn out, I need you to attack the very thing that didn't turn out the way that you wanted to turn out, and I need you to go heavy on it. You don't judge a person by where they stand in times of comfort and convenience. You judge them by where they stand in times of challenge and controversy. When you work for something, it gives you a different type of attachment to it. The harder you work, the harder it is to surrender. That's why cats can give up so easy. They ain't got nothing invested.
When people die, or people get sick, or something happens in your life, if all you're doing it for is a car and a house, that can stop you. But if you're doing it for your mom, for your siblings, for your family, for your community, nothing can stop you. You cannot be broken. When you have an intrinsic goal, when you're doing it because you value it, when you're doing it because you can, when you're doing it because it represents who you are, when it's internal, no mountain, no trial, no tribulation, nothing can stop you.
And no matter what you walk through, no matter how broken your life is right now, no matter how many times you failed, there's a power within you that's stronger than whatever's going on around you. So I'm not retreating, I'm not running, I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna win.
I got here not because I'm the strongest, not because I'm the fastest, not because I'm the best, but I kept fighting and fighting and fighting. And I just made up in my mind, I'm gonna get through this. You are not gonna stop me. I got too far. I've come too far to give up now.
Regardless of what happens to you in life, regardless of the adversity, regardless of the opposition, regardless of the trials and tribulations, nothing can stop you. The only thing that can stop you is you.
You want affirmation? Look yourself in the mirror and say, I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I know I can. Do whatever it takes. You your biggest driver.
I don't have that natural beauty or that natural talent or this gift for creativity or intellect or humor. I don't have any of those things. But what I got is I will outwork you. When it's 45 on the treadmill, I do 46. When it's supposed to be 20 phone calls, I make 21. When it's supposed to be an 8-hour workday, I work 9. Whatever it is, I always do one more. And what that does is it makes me eventually think I'm doing things other people aren't willing to do, so I should get things other people aren't going to get.
You've got to understand, it's not about what you were born with. It's not about what you were given, where you started, or even where you're going. It is entirely about what you plant at the center of your soul. How hard you're willing to go after something, how much focus you're willing to put in your life, and how often you come back to that level of intensity for who you want to be.
You have to make a decision that nobody in your position will outwork you.
Some people run faster, swim better, but mentality is mentality. You're not going to outwork me, so I'm going to catch up somewhere.
If you are not that talented, you can beat them with time. You can get to the spot before they get to the spot. I do things to separate myself from everybody else. The passion that I have, the grind that I have when I do what I do. I got a different motor. I got a different grind.
I'm always going to give it my 110%. That's the only thing I can ever say a solid day's work. If you guys do not do that, I promise you, your life will haunt you for the rest of your days.
From today on, you play whatever your best game is, you play that level every single time. It doesn't mean you're going to score every time, but you can always give 120% effort. You can't dictate what kind of game you're going to have. You can't dictate how your body is going to respond to moving around, but you can dictate your effort. Your dream comes when you push. Ain't nobody gonna give you no cookies and ice cream. Push. It's alive. It's inside. How do you know you feel it? You dream about it. You eat and sleep it every day. So push. Just push past the pain. Push. Don't quit. Push. And you push your way to success. You have a chance to control your destiny. All of us are created equal. Some of us just work harder. Some of us just grind. Some of us don't make excuses. Some of us don't give up and give in. What we do with the pressure is we say, I gotta take it, and I gotta take it to another level. You get a breakthrough when you fight. That's the hardest part, because the breakthrough, that last 10%, is all mental toughness.
It's time to unwrap the potential you can be. It's within you. And the people that have risen to that level were no different than any one of us.
Have you ever had a moment where it feels like everything's going against you? It feels like the weight of the world has fallen on your shoulders. You're thinking about quitting. You're thinking about giving up.
It's hard. It's hard living your dream. It's hard changing your life. Once you've been knocked out by life, it's hard to pull yourself together and go back again.
You're going to make a lot of mistakes. You're going to have a lot of failures. You're going to have a lot of struggles. You're going to feel dumb and ask questions and don't know what to do or where to go.
You got to know why you're out here, because you're going to get kicked by life. When the storms of life come, and they're going to come, when life pounces on you, and that's going to happen. When it catches you on the blind side and drops you to your knees, and that's going to happen. When your plans don't work out, when you start running out of money, when you want to give up, your reasons will be your source of strength that will comfort you. Your reasons are the things that will help you get back up and try once again.
That moment of extreme adversity is the best moment for audacity. It's the moment where you can flip everything and turn every trial you have right now into treasure.
Sometimes you need to step back, meditate, and recharge. Sometimes you gotta go away for a little while. Clear your head, view your situation from a different angle, and try another approach.
Don't ever claim that you're a failure. You're only ever a failure when you stop trying. Thomas Edison said, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. As long as you're trying, you have another chance to win.
Don't allow your emotions to control you. We are emotional creatures, but you gotta learn to discipline your emotions, discipline your thinking. Staying focused on the goal and not allowing your feelings and unproductive thoughts to get in the way of your progress. If you don't discipline and control your emotions and thoughts, they will use you.
You must have faith. You gotta believe in yourself. You gotta believe in your abilities, your ideas, your vision, unquestionably. And when you get punched in the face by life and you feel broken inside, you gotta be able to say to yourself, I've got to do this. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is why I showed up. You gotta talk to yourself day in and day out, selling yourself on you and on your potential.
And all I want you to do every day is just say to yourself, when you feel that inner negative conversation saying, you can't do it, you gotta shut that voice down. Tell it to shut up. Tell yourself, I can handle this. I can do this. I can get through this. I want you to stand up inside of yourself and demand that no matter how many failures I endure, I must keep going. No matter how many rejections I have to face, I must keep going. Regardless of the trials and tribulations that come against me, I must keep going. You get up every day, you look in the mirror, and you tell yourself, I'm a bat, and one way or another, I'm gonna make it happen today. This challenge I'm facing, this pain I'm going through, this is a test. This is the day I'm gonna find out if my goals really are my goals.
You're gonna get up, you're gonna get dressed, you're gonna get out, and you're gonna do what you've been called to do. You're gonna be what you've been called to be. And you're gonna prove to everybody that tried to break you, everybody that tried to stop you, everybody that tried to kill your dream, you're gonna prove all of them wrong. I'm gonna show them all they're wrong because I'm the champion. I'm gonna prove I'm the greatest. There will never be another like me.
Champions aren't born. They're made through grit, sweat, and unwavering self-belief.
It's not about luck. It's about relentless dedication to your craft. When you step out that door, it's not just another day. It is an opportunity to unleash your greatness upon the world. You're not here to settle for mediocrity or to follow the crowd. No, you're here to lead, to set the pace, to show the world what's possible when you refuse to accept anything less than your best.
It's about digging deep and understanding that greatness resides within you. You've got to summon it, sometimes even with tears in your eyes. But under no circumstance can you throw in the towel or surrender. The enemy isn't out there. It's in your head, scheming to mess with your mind, to drown you in worries and stress and break your spirit.
If you conquer it in your head, you'll conquer it everywhere else. So cry it out if you must. Rest it out if you must. Take a break if you must. Regroup, replan, but never let that fiery belief within you extinguish. It doesn't matter how long it takes or what you have to endure along the way. You're coming out of this mess. And you're coming out stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever before.
I've been through the depths of despair, hit rock bottom, and felt the sting of defeat. But guess what? I still believe I'm coming out on top. And you should too. Because that unwavering belief, that unbreakable spirit is what sets champions apart. So keep pushing, keep fighting, and keep believing. Because there's no force in this world that can stand against the power of the determined human spirit. You can delay it, but you cannot destroy it. And as long as you keep moving forward, as long as you can muster enough strength to hold on and hold out, you will see yourself become victorious.
When you feel like giving up, don't. When you thinking about giving up, don't. When it look like you ain't gonna make it, keep going. When they tell you you can't, who are they? When they tell you you're not gonna make it, don't believe them, man. You got to be relentless.
If I can take it, I can make it.
The real challenge of growth comes when you get knocked down. How you handle it. For those of you that have experienced some hardships, don't give up on your dream.
You keep standing. No matter how rough the sea, you keep standing. No matter what, you don't give up. Person that gets up off the canvas and keeps growing, that's the person that will continue to grow their influence.
You want to be persistent about what it is that you want to achieve. Alexander Graham Bell said, what this power is, I cannot say. All I know is that it exists and it becomes available only when a man or a woman is in that state of mind in which he or she knows exactly what he or she wants and is fully determined not to quit until they find it. You have got to make a declaration that this is what you stand for. You're standing up for your dreams. You're standing up for peace of mind. You're standing up for health. You want it, and you're going to go all out to have it.
Yes, you have a dream, and the process is not supposed to be comfortable. So if it hurts, if you feel like you're under heat, if you feel like you're being pressured, welcome to the big leagues. When God looks like he's pulling you back, eventually he's gonna let you go. And the farther he pulls you back, once he releases you, boom!
The power to hold on in spite of everything, the power to endure, the hunger, the ability to face defeat again and again without giving up. This is a winner's quality. You have that quality within you. Don't give up on yourself. Don't throw the towel in so quickly. Many people give up on the 1-yard line. And that's why most people never realize their personal greatness, because they're casual about life. And when you're casual about life, you will end up a casualty. Don't get caught up in, well, I tried it 4 or 5 times and things didn't work out. If there's something that you want and you're hungry for it, you got to do whatever is necessary until. When you're hungry, you don't care about the facts. You don't care about the odds. And you've got to learn how to tune out the critics outside and the critic inside. And since I'm going to do this, I'm going to harness my will. And I'm not going to let anything stop me. I deserve this. I'm going to do it until. Once you find those things that will make it worth it for you, it is done. You know people, you've seen people that you can predict early on. That person is going to be a diamond. You know it. How they carry themselves, how they take care of business, how they follow through, how they keep their commitments to their commitment, how they work the system, their energy level, their passion. You know it. The mark is on them. You know it. That one's going to make it. And people must see that in you. And we've all had experiences where we were working on something and we knew it was possible. We took the responsibility to make it happen. Other people couldn't see it. A lot of people didn't believe it. People were opposing you, but you kept on doing it. It was hard, it was rough, it was difficult, but to you it was worth it. And eventually you got to a level you know, there's nothing stopping me now. I'm on the move. I'm on the move.